Let me show you something that happened to me. I made money in the dope game. I think many of us did in that era. I had a nice home, and I lived not too far from a real prominent pastor.
What was your products before we go?
I started off with cocaine.
Hard or soft?
Soft.
Okay.
And then I moved on in my later years to selling water because I figured out something that I had to take at least 15,000 and sometimes 18,000 to buy a kilo that I was selling for 28,000 and make 7,000 off of each kilo.
Yeah.
When I could spend $10,000 on a gallon of water and make $150,000 selling vanilla extract bottles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was all about profit. Now, unfortunately for me, because I don't never want people to think that I'm bragging. God knows.
No.
I ended up with a 33-year addiction to PCP. So much so that it's tatted on my arm, formaldehyde. So I started formaldehyde records, and I was stuck on formaldehyde for 33 years of my life, and that was some of the most horrible times in my life. I truly understood what it meant not to get high on your own supply.
Yes.
And I had a sickness with me where I was smoking anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 worth of sticks a week.
Damn, bro.
So I was really out there crazy. You know?
What made you, how, besides God, how'd you kick the habit?
Oh, God.
Only God.
There you go.
Only God.
Yeah.
I put it down one day and that was it. I never went
cold
back
turkey.
to it. Yeah, I never went back to it.
What was it that day that made you say, I'm done with this?
It was God.
God spoke to you.
Yeah, it was God. It was definitely God. There was just this thing that happened in my life where a series of things that God was doing to really challenge me. And I was on a drug run going to California. We got off the bridge in El Paso, Texas, right?
Yeah.
And when we got to the bottom of the bridge, we was going to get something to eat. Just like I'm talking to you, I could hear a voice in my head say, look at that sign. I say, man, where the hell that came from? So I looked out the window, and they had a real car heiced up on a billboard. And at the bottom it said, everyone wore a seatbelt, everyone lived. I never wore a seatbelt in my life, never. That scared the hell out of me. I was like, woo.
Yeah.
I put my seatbelt on, everybody that's riding with me, that sign is scared his ass, look at him, he turning pussy. But take that seatbelt off. I was like, man, something told me to look at that sign.
Yeah.
I kept the seatbelt on. We went to LA, we partied for a week, and we got the drugs, we shipped them back, and we were headed back to Louisiana. We got to a place right outside of Austin called Curlville, Texas. There's the Texas Mountain Trail right there.
Yeah.
And I took that seatbelt off at 11 o'clock at night. I'll never forget. I looked at the clock, took the seatbelt off, and laid the seat back and covered it with a blanket. The same voice say, put it back on. Look outside. I put the seatbelt back on. Look outside. It was drizzling, starting to rain. And I said, Al. I said, man, slow down. It's raining. He said, man, I ain't got time for that. I got to go pay my income tax. And he said, you with that scary shit. And as soon as I clicked that seatbelt back together, 18-wheeler switched lanes and knocked the Tahoe over the side of the mountain. Everybody died except me. When I climbed out of that wreckage, that voice said, I brought you out of that. Now what you going to do for me? So that's what started me to really start to get my stuff together.
Already?
Yeah.
How old were you at that age?
I'm thinking I'm in my 30s. Like
mid-30s?
Yeah, mid-30s. So I went home and buried my friends. And I went fishing after the funeral.
Yeah.
I caught a little bitty small perch fish. And I threw it back in the lake. And the fish started flopping on top of the water. And I started crying. And I prayed the realest prayer that I ever prayed. And that voice said, watch the glory of the Lord. And I stood up to watch the fish swim into the water, and he didn't. I broke my fishing pole. Said, damn, I thought I heard the Lord talking to me again. I understood it was the Lord.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, a white bird came, and he swooped the fish up out the water. I say, woo! Woo! I say, boy, God, that's a good one. I said, the dying fish fed the hungry bird so it didn't go to waste. I say, that's a good one. That boy say, how can you have so much mercy on my smallest creature, yet go out to kill my greatest, which is man, every day? I put my gun down that day and I never picked it back up.
It's your girl Jazzy K with Super Tight TV. We want to thank everyone that's been watching. Hey, if you do us a favor and hit that subscribe button, also press the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video.
Know I'ma get some game tuned in with Super Tight, yeah. I get the low from Big Bobo, from the front seat, not no photos.